Okay, we're going to debate Bernard Hopkins' resume, me and Chris Caban. He runs the very popular We Live and Eat Sleep Boxing page on Facebook, which is in the description box. Make sure you go check that out. And we're going to see what we pull up. We're just going to see what we pull up. We're going to see if Bernard's an all-time great. So, let's start from, where should we start? Where should we start? From his first title shot?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, on the route up, he fought guys like Gilbert Baptiste, Wayne Powell for the USBA middleweight title. I remember Gilbert Baptiste. I think he got beaten up by Lamar Parks, if I'm right. I saw that on Friday Night Fights years back. He was a decent fighter. Ran into Roy Jones. Some people tell me that the fight was close, but I don't know what they was watching. I didn't see that fight as close. I don't know what about you, Chris. How did you see that fight?
Nah, I had that. It wasn't close to me, in my opinion. Not at all. And I don't think Gilbert Baptiste wasn't that good. I seen him fight too.
Yeah, I see Lamar Parks really give him a beating. He was a fringe contender.
Yeah, a journeyman.
Basically.
Yeah.
Okay, let's dismiss Roy Ritchie. Wendell Hall was terrible. I remember seeing him. He was absolutely dreadful. Shouldn't have been in the ring with Bernard. Melvin Wynn, know nothing about him. Lupe Aquino. Remember Lupe Aquino?
He was a decent guy.
Yeah, in the leopard skin trunks. He was a WBC light middleweight champion. Yeah? I remember. He beat Dwayne Thomas over 12. Just after Dwayne Thomas beat John McGarvey. I remember that. That's not a bad win, but by the time, Aquino was faded. He was faded.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, his best was in the 80s. And after that, with Bernard, where did we go?
Segundo Macondo. Where was he from? He was from overseas.
Ecuador.
He knocked Bernard. The first fight was very, very close because he knocked Bernard down twice in that fight.
I've never seen the fight. They say that Bernard was lucky to escape with a draw.
Very lucky. I think at that point, that was his toughest fight.
Yeah.
That's right.
And let's face it. Let's keep it real, Chris. Mercado was never a player at middleweight.
No.
He wasn't. Bernard got it right in the rematch and took him out in 7 TKO. Steve Frank, I never heard of him.
Me neither.
The Joe Lipsy win, that was a big win for Bernard.
Big win because they was talking like he was going to be the next champion at the time. He was a power puncher too.
Yeah.
I think that towards that point, that was his biggest win. I absolutely thought Joe Lipsy was going to knock B-Hop out.
A lot of people did. That's actually his first big win.
Yeah, it was.
And that's in 96.
Yeah, that's when BET was showing fights at that time. BET televised their fights.
William Bo James.
He wasn't that good. I seen him fight about 4 or 5 times. He wasn't that good. No.
I never heard of it. John David Jackson.
He was good. He beat Reggie Johnson.
Damn, I forgot that one.
He was good. He had a fight of the year with Jorge Castro, so he was pretty solid.
He was solid. Yeah. But let's put it in perspective. The guy was knocked out by Jorge Castro, was just a punchbag.
Yeah.
Right? That's a good win for Bernard. And John David Jackson was a good fighter. It was a solid win.
Slick southpaw.
Yeah, slick southpaw. Solid win. Okay. I'm going to let you break down the Glenn Johnson victory.
Oh. Glenn Johnson was 32-0 at that point, but Glenn Johnson didn't beat nobody at middleweight. Glenn Johnson didn't get his name until he knocked Roy Jones out. We all know that. And at super middleweight, that was horrible too because he lost to Omar Sheikha.
But at the same time, in hindsight, do we have to elevate Bernard's victory in hindsight now?
You can't elevate that because at middleweight, Glenn Johnson absolutely did not do anything.
Okay.
He beat up a whole bunch of bums.
Yep. Okay. You're a hard taskmaster, Chris, but some people will definitely agree with you. Andrew Council, he was quite tough,
Yeah, DC fighter, very tough, I thought.
Durable. Very durable. I remember Buddy McGirt hitting him with everything and not being able to budge him.
Yeah, Buddy McGirt was a smaller man and moved up and was faded by the time he fought. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real when he fought Buddy. Buddy wasn't to Buddy McGirt at 140 or 147.
Yeah, very true, very true. And Simon Brown was badly faded.
Yeah, his best weight was 147. Another welterweight B-Hop beat up.
Yep. Now we go to the Robert Allen contest.
I'm glad I'm glad you mentioned this fight.
Okay, I'm gonna set this one off. Yeah, I remember reading about this in the boxing news. This fight all the time, and I never really knew the circumstances. You know, the real nitty gritty about it. I always knew it was a no contest. It wasn't until fucking YouTube came along and I saw the fight, and we actually interviewed Robert Allen. He was telling us about the fight, and me and Errol went back and we went and watched the fight. I'll let you take it from here, Chris. What did you see?
I thought at that point, B-Hop jumped out the ring. B-Hop was losing the fight, and he jumped out the ring. I don't think he was pushed or nothing. Did you think he was pushed?
Look, Bernard Hopkins is a strong black brother. Powerfully built black brother who went to jail. If that was strong enough to push him out, I don't know what to say. He dived out the ring. He was getting beaten and he jumped out the ring. That's what happened.
Exactly. That's how I saw it too.
Okay, and let's face it, Robert Allen was not a major player at middleweight.
No, he was not.
He got it right in a rematch, obviously. The Antoine Eccles fight, I remember that. I remember Eccles pulling him to the ground and stuff. And Eccles was supposed to give him a tough fight, but Bernard came through that one.
No, Eccles actually dropped Bernard in the first fight that they fought. They fought twice. Didn't they fight twice? Did he fight Eccles?
I only saw the second fight, to be honest.
He fought the first fight. He knocked B-Hop down too.
Okay, he knocked him down.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. How would you grade Eccles as a middleweight in hindsight?
At middleweight, let's be honest, there wasn't nobody down there at the time. All the killers went up to 168.
The killers being James Toney,
Nigel Bryan,
Reggie Johnson,
what's his name? Collins,
Steve Collins, Nigel Benn.
I think we said him already. Nigel Benn, Reggie Johnson, Steve Collins. Even you can even throw the Blade in there if you want to.
Iran Barkley.
Yeah, Iran Barkley. Everybody was at 168 at that point.
Yeah. So, what are you saying? He should have moved up then, really, because that's where the competition was.
I thought the competition was at 168. I definitely think he should have moved up. He was a big middleweight anyway.
Yeah. What about the Keith Holmes win? That was in the unification tournament.
Yeah, I know it was in the unification tournament, but you want to be honest about Keith Holmes?
Yeah.
Who did Keith Holmes beat?
He beat Richie Woodall. I'm doing that without box wrecking it. I remember him beating Richie Woodall.
Okay. Richie Woodall.
From Britain.
I remember Richie Woodall.
He wasn't a bad, he was a big middleweight, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was very big. I seen him got beat by the dude Tito knocked out. Hassan Sharif. And I thought he was bad in that fight. Very bad. That was way before B-Hop fought him.
Yeah.
So I don't really rate him.
Okay, you're not too impressed.
Not impressed with him or Joffrey.
He knocked out 2 British middleweights. He took out Robert McCracken, who is now Carl Froch's trainer.
Yeah.
And he beat Quincy Taylor. But I think Quincy Taylor was injured. I remember that fight. Quincy Taylor, I think his knee was badly injured and he couldn't barely, But we'll let that one go. Keith Holmes was just okay. He was okay. And where am I at now? Tito Trinidad. Where do you rank that with?
Welterweight. He's not a real middleweight.
Yeah, but he was doing damage in that tournament, though. He knocked out
Joffrey. That's the only fight he fought at middleweight. And
didn't he outpoint? Who? Yeah.
Yeah, because that fight with Vargas was at 154.
Okay. But he was the first man to take Trinidad's oath.
Yeah.
It was a big fight.
It was a big fight, but let's be honest, he beat up a blown up welterweight.
All right, Chris, a hard taskmaster.
I'm being honest, though.
I see what you're saying. I still feel that's probably his best win ever.
Yeah, that's his best win, though. That's why I'm saying he should have went up to 168. People say about Floyd should be moved up in weight. This guy really needed to move up in weight.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at the landscape when he was middleweight champion. There wasn't no killers there.
No, there wasn't no killer. The killers did. I mean, you can see by the standard of the unification tournament. William Joppy. Look, let's keep it real. If James Toney, Roy Jones, Mike McCallum, Reggie Johnson were in there, you wouldn't have heard of guys like William Joppy. He wouldn't have been in no unification tournament. And neither would have Keith Holmes.
No, neither one of them.
And that's the truth. We're not...
Or Tito.
Tito wouldn't have got in the tournament if the truth be known. We're not trying to hurt Bernard Hopkins. We're trying to give you an honest analysis from two brothers who are actually watching boxing when these events occur. Okay?
Before YouTube came out.
Yep. Before YouTube came out. Carl Daniels wasn't all that. And, you know, guys like Murad Hacker, they weren't good fighters, man. They weren't good fighters.
Murad Hacker was terrible.
I think he was from France or something. Morocco. He wasn't all that. William Joppy. Once again, William Joppy is not a standout middleweight from them days. He just ain't. He just isn't.
No,
did Joppy hold a belt?
Yeah, he held a belt. Tito beat him for a belt.
Yeah, okay. Look, well, we got to give him credit for that. You know, Joppy wasn't bad. Joppy wasn't actually bad. I remember when he beat Howard Eastman, and he had some skills. He did have some skills.
I thought Howard Eastman won that fight.
You thought Howard won it?
Yeah, I thought Howard won that fight.
Howard came on too late, man. He dropped him late.
Joppy was doing a lot of holding.
Yeah, I thought actually, you know, Howard should have won that fight, but he started too late and he was just too slow. But, you know, I could see a lot of people over here thought that Howard Eastman won the fight. A lot of people. I think Errol thinks that Joppy won as well.
Yeah.
But I see where you're coming from.
That was hard to watch, though, because it was too much clinching.
Yeah, it was a lot of clinching. Once again, he beat Robert Allen. He got it right this time.
Again.
There was no need to fight Robert Allen again, really, though.
Not for a third time,
no, there wasn't. And Oscar De La Hoya, 4 belts on the line. That must mean something.
That shouldn't have even been no fight because Felix Stern beat Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah. And Oscar didn't do shit at middleweight, really. Let's face it.
He did not.
You know,
he got to give just so they can make that fight with B-Hop.
You know, Oscar took $32 million out of that fight, yeah?
Yeah. 32. That was a terrible fight. I don't even...
It was a terrible fight. And to be honest, I'm keeping it real with Bernard. He should have really got rid of him earlier. I think James Toney, Mike McCallum would have got rid of Oscar earlier, personally, at middleweight.
Oscar De La Hoya wouldn't have made it to the 5th round with McCallum.
No, he wouldn't have done. I think Michael Nunn would have got rid of him earlier.
Yes, he would have.
Okay, and then we got Howard Eastman. He unanimously decisioned Howard Eastman. I remember that. He outboxed him. He was talking really greasy beforehand, and then he just went on the back foot and boxed. It was a good performance, to be honest. I thought that was quite impressive boxing. But once again, Howard Eastman
was not a standout. I mean, like you said, if them other guys were there, where would Howard Eastman be ranked?
He wouldn't have got 2 title shots if them guys were back then in the division. I mean, I was a fan of his. I was a fan of Howard Eastman's, but he wouldn't have got 2 title shots. At 168, he would have struggled to get any title shots at all. Howard Eastman at that time. Okay, well, then we have the 2 Jermaine Taylor losses.
Yeah. I thought honestly, I'm gonna give Bernard Hopkins credit. I thought he won the I thought he beat Jermaine Taylor twice.
They were hard fights to score.
Yeah, that was hard.
The first one was really hard to score.
And Bernard kind of beat him up in the later rounds. I think Bernard waited too late. I think Bernard actually waited too late though.
Second one, I thought Bernard won it.
Yeah, because Jermaine Taylor was letting his hands go.
Yeah. In hindsight, bad losses or...
I thought If I'm just being honest with you, yes, I think that's a bad loss to Jermaine Taylor.
Because look what happened to his career after that. There's not one decent win on Jermaine Taylor's win after that. And
No.
before, and there's no decent real. Well, he beat Hasim the Dream, Umar. There's no real standout wins on Jermaine Taylor's win apart from beating Bernard.
No, it's not.
Okay.
And that was. Go ahead.
No, I'll let you go. I'll let you go.
And that was his end at middleweight.
Yep.
He went straight to light heavyweight after that.
Yep. So, your summation of Bernard Hopkins is a middleweight so far in the debate.
It's not a real legendary greatest of all time resume for middleweight to me.
Comparing him to Hagler, Roy Jones, and Tony.
No, Hagler fought Willie the Worm and guys like that. No.
No, not quite there. So what about him beating Antonio Tarver?
That was at light heavyweight.
Yeah, well, that's where we're going next.
Okay, we're
going to go all the way through the rest.
I think that's a good win for light heavyweight because I thought that was a good win.
He was very energetic for that fight, man.
Yeah, I thought he should have been at light heavyweight years ago though, because he was way bigger than them guys he fought at middleweight.
Yeah. You see, he beat Winky Wright at light heavyweight.
Yeah, Winky Wright is not light heavyweight.
No, he's not. His best days were at light middle to me.
Yeah, I think that fight was at a catch weight, but it still was basically light heavyweight because of 170. That was a catch weight of 170. That was a catch weight of 170.
What would you say Winky's best weight was?
154.
Yeah, 154. I definitely agree with that. Lost to Joe Calzaghe. Knocked him down in the first.
Yeah, that was. How did you score?
It wasn't a robbery. It could have went either way.
It could have. I got it actually a draw.
Yeah, I think I'll go with that. It could have went either way. People say that Bernard was robbed. He wasn't robbed. He wasn't robbed in that fight. It was very tight. It depends what you liked in it. The volume or the preciseness of some of Bernard's counters. Kelly Pavlik. Nah, that was a good win.
That was a catch weight, 170, because Kelly Pavlik wasn't no true light heavyweight.
No, he wasn't. And he hasn't tried to fight at that weight since then.
Yeah.
But he ruined his career, man. He effectively ended his career, didn't he?
Yeah, because after that, he was never the same after that. Bernard ruined that boy.
Yeah, he ruined it. What's the better win? Pavlik or the Trinidad?
They was too small. I'll say Trinidad. I think Trinidad better fighter than Kelly Pavlik.
Okay. We're going to sum up what his best wins are at the end.
Okay.
Let's forget this Ornelas guy. I'm not even going to talk about him.
Yeah. That was just, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Okay, and he beat Roy Jones in 2010.
Past his prime, he got knocked out. He got knocked out twice.
Yep.
Got beat up by Calzaghe, and then he fought him. No, that was no good win.
Okay. The two Gene Pascal fights. The first one was a draw.
That was a good win.
What, the second one? The second fight where
the second fight was a very good win because Bernard is an old man at this point.
Okay, that was a good win. That was a good win.
Yeah.
Okay. He got outclassed in the, like people said he gave Chad Dawson a good fight in the second fight. Forget the first one, it was a no contest. I thought Chad outclassed him.
Me too.
You know, in my opinion. He gave it a good effort for an old guy, but Tavares Cloud, once again, I'm going to start this one off, Chris, yeah?
Go ahead.
People big him up for winning that title at that age against Cloud, but he didn't go back and fight Dawson to get that light heavyweight title.
No, he didn't.
Now, people want to talk about cherry picking.
Yeah.
That was cherry picking.
Yes, there was.
I'm not even going to talk about Carol Murat because I think even Nathan cleverly stole on him and knocked him out. That don't mean nothing to us. Okay. So
Over.
I'm gonna pick 3 fighters. What I'd put in is 4. I'm gonna pick 4 fighters which I think are standout and wins for him. But the thing is, all of them are gonna be small guys. Winky Wright.
Yeah.
The only one who ain't gonna be small is Gene Pascal. Gene Pascal, Trinidad, and Pavlik.
I'm gonna put Joe Lipsy ahead of Pavlik. I think Joe Lipsy is a better win than Pavlik.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Joe Lipsy, everybody, if people old enough to remember, Joe Lipsy was a good fighter, and people thought Joe Lipsy was gonna do something. He was knocking people out left and right.
Yeah, he was. Okay, I'm gonna just say Pascal is the best win.
Pascal's best win on his career.
Yeah.
Pascal, let me see.
Considering his age,
Yeah,
and it was at light heavyweight.
you got a point. Yeah,
Considering his age, I'm gonna go for the Pascal.
I'm gonna agree with you. But after that, I'm gonna go with the Joe Lipsy because Joe Lipsy, that was a big credible win.
It was.
Nobody really knew who was gonna win that fight. It was like nobody didn't think Bernard was gonna win that fight. Actually,
Okay, we're gonna sum this up now. ATG or not?
greatest of all time great.
All time great.
Not with that resume. I don't think so.
No.
No. I think he could be a top 20. I'll give him top 20.
You put him top 20 all time great, all time fighter.
Top middleweight. Top 20 middleweight of all time.
Okay, top 20 middleweight of all time.
Yeah.
Wow, that's tough.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that got better resumes than that. That's why I'm going with that.
All right, let's go for the modern era. Who would you say's got a better resume than Bernard?
Modern day middleweights.
No, just from that era there or whatever. Any era you want, man. Any era you want.
Okay. At middleweight, of course, Hagler got a better resume.
Yep.
Hagler, you can even say Duran.
Duran at middleweight.
154. He beat Iran Bartley. He was old too. Now you gotta give him that too.
Yeah, but that's Duran's only win at middleweight, isn't it?
Well, we count the wins from other divisions too for B-Hop.
Yeah, that's true. No, I'm just saying middleweights now. Who's the better actual middleweights, not fighters?
Oh, I think he's an all-time. Oh, I thought we was doing fighters, but yeah, he's an all-time middleweight.
Yeah, he's definitely.
Not the greatest though.
Yeah. Would you say how's his resume stack up to James Toney's?
At middleweight,
Yeah.
I like James Toney better. How about what you think? We can explain why too.
I'd have to take a fine tooth comb to James Toney's record.
Mike McCallum beats
McCallum.
everybody that Bernard fought at middleweight.
Yeah, he does. Murders everybody that he fought at middleweight. I agree. And Michael Nunn.
Yep, beats everybody.
Yeah. Tony hands down. Yeah. I agree.
Forgot about Doug DeWitt because he beat I think Doug DeWitt will beat a lot of them guys that Tony fought too.
And Barkley. And he beat Barkley.
That was at super middleweight.
That was a super middleweight. But still, it was. Yeah. I mean, he outclassed Barkley. Yeah. Who gave Bernard the better fight at their primes? Tony or Bernard?
Say what? Who's the better fighter? I think.
No, who gave Roy the better fight?
Bernard Hopkins gave him the better fight.
Yeah, I think so too. I think
because your boy was dehydrated because he had to lose all that weight. James Toney was dehydrated and had to take an IV. Lost all that weight.
Yeah. Okay. So Reggie Johnson, you think Bernard could have got anywhere near him?
No. I think Reggie Johnson beat James Toney in that fight too.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't even mention that fight. I thought Reggie Johnson got robbed in that fight against Toney.
Yep. Steve Collins and them guys. Ben, do you think they could beat Bernard?
I think Nigel Benn can beat him. Steve Collins, no.
Nah, Steve Collins wouldn't beat him. I wouldn't think.
Gerald McClellan beats him too.
Gerald McClellan? What? Knocks him out?
I think he would have, at that point, yeah.
Woo, that's a big statement, man. You think
Robert Allen was beating him now. Robert Allen, let's be honest. But when he jumped out the ring, he was beat by Robert Allen.
That's true. The G-Man would have been a threat. Would have definitely been a threat. Okay. You think Chris Eubanks? How would Chris Eubanks?
I don't know. I think he probably would have beat Chris Eubanks, though. It would have been a tough fight, though.
It would have been a tough fight. I'm not sure if he'd beat Eubanks, man. I'm not sure. That's a tough fight. But then again, you could say, like, people say that Tony and Jones didn't fight them guys, Ben and Eubanks.
Yeah, Tony. A lot of people that at that time they had all the killers in the individual. A lot of people didn't fight each other.
Yeah. That's true.
Chris Eubanks didn't fight Roy Jones. James Toney didn't fight. You could mix and match them though. You
could mix. Yeah, to be honest, you could go all day on that.
We forgot about Tyrone Trice. He was a player there too.
Oh yeah, Tyrone. Tyrone's power could have gave, because look, like once again, if that guy from Ecuador could give him trouble, man. I mean, Tyrone's power could have gave Bernard a lot of trouble, man. I know a lot of you youngsters, you don't know about Tyrone, but Tyrone wasn't no joke when he was throwing that right hook in your head.
Tyrone was a beast. Reggie Johnson was a beast.
Yep.
People bring up the Roy Jones fight, but that was at light heavyweight. Y'all need to watch Reggie Johnson when he was a middleweight.
Yep. When he dusted off Steve Collins.
Julian Jackson, he ain't fight him neither.
Nope.
It's a lot. It's just.
How do you think that would have? Who would you tip to win that?
Around that time, let me see. I'm gonna go with Bernard on Julian Jackson.
Yeah, against Jackson's power, yeah.
I think Bernard is crafty enough to get around him.
Ooh, I don't know.
Oh, I'm gonna give you why I think that. Watch the McCallum fight.
Yeah, Jackson hurt McCallum, but McCallum came back.
Bernard is a bigger guy than Julian Jackson. I think Julian Jackson was best weight was 154.
I don't know, bro.
I know. I'm kind of wrestling with it though. But
yeah, that would be interesting. That's an interesting one.
I think he hurts Bernard in that fight though.
But if he hurts him, he's putting his lights out more than likely, man.
But like against big, well, I think Bernard can. I think Bernard can overwhelm him and beat him though, because
that'd be.
I don't know though.
Yeah, you're weighing that one up. That one's still in the balance. That one's still in the balance.
It's a good fight though, but I don't know, but I'm leaning towards B-Hop.
Okay, I got you in that.
Lamar Parks.
Who else?
Beat Lamar Parks, which was like a killer.
Yep. Lamar Parks.
You could say Lamar Parks because nobody ain't want to fight him neither.
Yeah. With Lamar, he could box as well as punch.
Yeah, that's wow.
Yeah. He contracted AIDS from his girl, man, and like that ended his career, man. That was sad.
He was actually about to fight McCallum when they found out he had AIDS.
Yeah.
Not McCallum, but Gerald McCallum. My bad.
Was it McClellan?
I think it was McCallum. Was it McClellan or McCallum?
I can't remember. He had some big fights lined up at the time.
Yeah,
I remember Steve Holdsworth talking about his story, saying he was just on the cusp of doing some big things when he caught it.
Yeah.
That's bad news, man. All right, people. That's an in-depth, well, what we call an in-depth look. Any last words, Chris?
That's about it.
All right. Peace.